Hiring for technical roles, it can feel like a total gamble, right? You spend all this time, maybe weeks, even months, going through resumes, doing interviews, and then you find out the person you hired isn't who you thought they were. It's a costly problem. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into a method that pretty much takes all that chance out of the equation.
I mean, it's the classic problem, isn't it? You get a resume, and it looks perfect. It lists every single skill you're looking for. The candidate, they talk a great game, they sound super confident, they seem to know their stuff inside and out. But you're always left wondering, how much of this is real, and how much is, let's say, creative writing?
And then there's this little gem. The person who is so enthusiastic and collaborative in the interview suddenly becomes a completely different person once they're actually on the job. That huge gap between the interview persona and the on-the-job reality, well, that's where all the trouble really starts.
Now, this isn't just a minor annoyance. A bad hire comes with some very real, very painful costs that can hit your business hard. So let's break down what's really at stake here. First, there's the immediate hit. All the time and resources you just poured into onboarding them, the training, the paperwork, getting them set up, all of that effort, poof, gone.
And we're not just talking about wasted time. That's cold, hard cash walking out the door. Money you paid for absolutely zero return, only to realize you have to start this whole frustrating process over again.
And here's the real kicker. You often don't find out about these massive skill gaps until they're already on your payroll and working on your projects. By then, the cost is just climbing higher and higher.
And in a technical field, the worst-case scenario isn't just lost time or money, it's actual physical damage. An unskilled hire can absolutely wreck expensive equipment, leading to insane repair bills and crippling downtime.
So, if the resume is unreliable, and the traditional interview can be, well, a performance, what's the alternative? The answer is pretty simple. You have to move beyond just talking and start doing. Let's look at a totally different approach.
This right here is the core idea, a hands-on assessment. It's a simple but really powerful shift in thinking. Instead of asking if they can do the job, you actually see them do it. The whole point is to replace all that talk with proven, tangible action.
So just how thorough are we talking here? Well, the process we're looking at involves 36 distinct steps. Yeah, 36. This isn't just one little practical test. We're talking about a comprehensive vetting system that covers absolutely everything, from the first screening to deep technical validation and even psychometric profiling. No stone is left unturned.
Okay, a 36-step process sounds really impressive, but does it actually work? Does it deliver? Well, let's take a look at the data, because the numbers are pretty compelling.
First up, let's talk about retention. For permanent placements, a whopping 95% are still with the company after one full year. That turnover rate is incredibly low, and it tells you they're getting the right fit the first time.
And this isn't just a short-term win. It really holds up over the long haul. Even after 2 years, 85% of those people are still employed at the same company. This isn't about finding a temporary fix. It's about finding a lasting member of the team.
And what's really wild is that the numbers are just as strong for temporary staff. A 96% retention rate after 12 months? That just shows that even for short-term roles, the quality and the fit of the candidate is exceptionally high. And this chart, wow, this just brilliantly illustrates the impact on safety and reliability. Out of more than 2,600 assignments over 18 years, there have been only 5 workplace injury claims. That tiny 0.2% sliver represents an outstanding safety record. It's proof that competent, skilled workers are also safe workers.
So, we've seen the results, and they're impressive. But how does this built-to-order recruitment process actually work? Let's take a peek under the hood and see the key stages.
The whole thing really breaks down into 3 core stages. First is the deep dive, with questions that go way beyond a typical interview. Next is the simulation, where the work environment is replicated as closely as possible. And that all leads to the final stage, the assessment, where candidates finally get to show what they can really do. And trust me, these are not simple tests. We're talking about real-world challenges, like running design tasks in AutoCAD or Inventor, interpreting and redesigning complex electrical schematics, or even analyzing a piece of machinery to recommend improvements. This is where you separate the talkers from the doers, for sure.
And here's how it plays out in the real world. Over 4 years with a global engineering manufacturer, this method was used to work on 22 highly specialized engineering roles, and they successfully filled 18 of them, everything from mechanical engineers to project controllers. This just goes to show that the process works, even for the most demanding and complex jobs out there.
So what's the big takeaway here? We're looking at a fundamental shift, a move away from hiring based on a piece of paper and toward hiring based on proven, demonstrated ability. It's really about replacing hope with certainty.
And ultimately, it all comes down to this powerful idea. The goal isn't just to fill a position. It's to completely transform the entire experience of recruitment from a frustrating gamble into a reliable, predictable process that actually builds stronger teams.
So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Just imagine going into your next hiring process, not with all that uncertainty and risk, but with the quiet confidence that you're about to find exactly the right person for the job. What if your next hire wasn't a gamble at all, but a sure thing?